Hello and Assalamualaikum to Dr. Mimi Azlina and to our audience. In this video, I, Pengran Muhammad Lutfil Hadi, will be presenting the sport equipment that I decided to do a research on it, which is the baseball bat. And I will try to evaluate this sport equipment by answering these 4 questions that has been stated in the second assignment. A number of popular sports have benefited from extensive research on sport equipment, including racket sports such as tennis, golf, and baseball. But before we head into the main part, I will explain in brief about the history of these sports. Baseball is one of the oldest sports in America, and sticks were used as equipment when this game was first played. And by the time it has been officially organized as a team sport, the equipment also began to advance. The structure of a baseball bat can be divided into 4 parts, and 2 important parts that required in the baseball bat are the handle, where the hitter holds the bat, and the barrel, or striking surface, where the bat makes its contact with the ball. The highlighted region shown in the figure 1 is the area of the barrel, which is said to be the ideal point for hitting the ball, is known as the sweet spot. There are 3 types of material that is commonly used in this sport equipment. The first is composite wood, where the bat is covered with ash wood, but inside the barrel area is a mixture of titanium, plastic, and graphite. Next is aluminum, a strong, lightweight, and good quality kind of metal. And lastly, ash hardwood, which is basically the original material used in the early age of baseball game. The properties of this wood are dense and thick. Before identifying the best material for the bat, there are several factors that affect the performance on the bat in the sweet spot area based on the material properties. Those factors include Young's modulus and trampoline effect. Trampoline effect are divided into 2 types, which are bending modes, the trampoline effect that only applied in wooden bats, and shell modes, a trampoline effect in aluminum bats and composite bats. The Young's modulus obtained upon contact between the bat and the ball. The energy transfer from the traveling ball to the bat will cause vibration feeling to the hitter. Thus, a larger Young's modulus number means that the material requires a larger force to deform by the same amount, and less vibration happen. Based on table 1, given the Young's modulus value for composite material is ridiculously higher compared to the other 2 types. Also, this concludes that the wood types bat will deform much more due to the absorbing more energy from the ball and a greater vibration, which could increase the pain upon the impact. Next is trampoline effect, and this term can be simplified as the amount of speed conserved by the ball after contact with the bat. In figure 2, comparison for the batted speedball were conducted under 3 types materials. Based on the result, wood has the lowest hook frequency, and this explains the bending modes in figure 3 in the next page, where the higher bending mode will be the ideal, but it greatly impacts the ball's post speed. Also back in figure 2, composite bat outshine it with the higher speed, thus shows the composite bat has higher performances than both types due to it stores more energy and assuming have thinner barrel, and therefore most of the energy is restored into the ball that's shown in figure 4. I would recommend using composite to construct a baseball bat based on the comparisons in previous data. In addition, a composite bat is lighter and more durable than wood but less and heavier than aluminum bat. Heavier bat gave off low velocity when ball is rebound, thus making the hitter have more time to react. This concludes that composite bat is a well-rounded material in terms of performance and safety measures. But the downside is that the composite barrel costs more than the rest of the material and crack upon breaking like ashwood bats. There are 2 types of critical aspects in terms of safety. First, regulations about baseball bats were made after the design and material revolutions of bats. These regulations were introduced at various levels of play to help make the game safer, and implemented vary from one league to another. Second, improving material properties also to be considered due to involves bats break issues due to stress and the impact speed of baseball based on material. These factors can result danger either to the crowd and players when not concerned. Next, in terms of performance, to improve performance also depends on hitter personal preference to weight and length. For example, bigger, stronger players better use heavier bat because of the benefits from swing power, while small players with less strength should consider a lighter bat to generate a quicker swing. Younger players also should consider lighter bat to increase control and reducing risk of injury. Plastic production could be considered to be the next great material because it is inexpensive and highly scalable in manufacturing. Second, early testing stated that plastic's lower elastic modules can combine with the thicker walls while still applying all design rules that maximize hoop vibrations to create more durable and high-performance beds. And finally, the low-density plastic could easily lead to lightweight beds and needed for youth basketball. For the low sales of common material beds, COVID-19 led to massive shutdown of businesses in the second quarter of 2020, based on an article published by R. Fosen on the early impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on business sales. Sales losses were largest in business affected by mandatory lockdowns such as accommodations, which lost 91%, and online sales grew by 180%. This shows how badly COVID-19 are and affect the industrial sales. Nonetheless, the baseball bat sells. Given example in the first statement where plastic barrel are growing, the sales on the common material will unfortunately go downhill due to the rising of new and more effective material. That is all from me, and thank you for listening.